Hello everyone, I am SS the Showstopper and today is the 20th of October 2023. Now today I'm going to talk about problem prevention versus problem solving. Now I will not give you a textbook definition of what either means. However, I will give you an idea of the benefits of problem prevention versus problem solving, and I'll give you the benefits in examples as I go along. It seems as if we live in a society where persons are more concerned with solving problems. I don't call many situations problem. I just call them a situation because, as the great Eckhart Tolle says, our problems are usually in our mind, and perception usually define how we see a situation. So it might be a problem to you, but in actuality, it was never a problem than a situation that can easily be dealt with if we put personal emotions aside. Now, the benefits, as I said, of problem prevention, versus problem solving can be explained in many examples throughout history. I was on the topic of it seems that we live in a society where we enjoy problem solving rather than problem prevention, meaning that when someone puts an idea forth, it seems as if the person isn't from upper echelon society, if the person doesn't have a massive bank account, their ideas are shunned. Their ideas are looked over. However, if someone else capitalizes on that idea, then it is seen as great. If someone else decides to take up that idea, someone else of the upper echelon society who has been listening decide that they're going to take up the idea, or they are going to rename the objective or renamed the grand idea, then it is taken serious by not only the government, but also by the mass of the people. See, oftentimes we want to point fingers at someone, not knowing that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers pointing back at you. It's easy to blame the government for a lot of things, yes, because they're the ones who are in charge. They're the ones who signed off on many things. However, the mind of the people is often an issue that need to be addressed, need to be looked into, need to be dealt with. Okay, so throughout history, the Greeks, a lot of Greek people were labeled as gods. Remember, people have a speech impediment problem. So if I lisp or cross out the tongue every now and then, I can't help it. Forgive me. So throughout history, the Greeks were labeled as gods. The Greeks labeled many of their own people as gods. The reason being, whenever an idea was put forward by a ruler, they would consult elders, they would consult intelligent people or noblemen of the society. And what they would do, they would sit down in groups, they would assess the situation, they would look at the advantages versus the disadvantages. They will decide on which route to take and what problems or issues that can generate from it. The route that creates or generates the lesser issue or problem, that's the route that they will take. And it was always proven when the king or when the ruler decides to take that route. And because of such and the success of it throughout each attempt, throughout each situations, those individuals were eventually labeled as gods. They were labeled as gods. The great Hannibal, not the movie Hannibal, Hannibal himself, a melanated man, a black man, yes, he was a soldier. Hannibal had great tactics to defeat armies in Europe, to defeat other nations in Europe. He was very, very tactful. He was so tactful that he could prevent his military group from defeat. And so the tactics that he used always resulted in a victory. It was so great that to this day, military countries or military groups across the world use the tactics of Hannibal to prevent casualty. Let that sink in. That's a little history for you. That's a little history for you. Who else? I spoke in a video before of a man who was giving a speech. It's a video clip from the 1940s. A man was giving a speech, right? He was an American. He was standing on the streets, in the streets of America, and he was giving a speech during the 19th century. So the film is from the 1940s, and they realized this man in the 19th century, who was the turn of the 19th century, who was giving a speech, and he had a problem. I spoke of this story before. He had a problem with immigrants coming in the country and taking over the jobs. They couldn't get jobs. Americans couldn't get the jobs. And so he was saying that people need to come together and get these people out of their country. They need to rebel against it because sooner or later you won't have any jobs. He began harboring a crowd. Every little take time, they're coming in. So he started harboring a crowd. You know, a crowd was gathering based on his argument. Many people were cheering him on and laughing, and yeah, go ahead. They were cheering him on and they were laughing, right? Then there was this man who stood in the crowd, and he said, that man needs to be stopped. The speech that he's giving is very dangerous. A man beside him said to him, or asked him, why would you say that? He is right. The immigrants are taking over the job. They're coming in and they're taking over all the jobs. Sooner or later, we won't have any jobs. The man replied and said, years ago in Hungary, a man stood up and made the same speech. He was very angry. He started gathering a crowd just like this, and everybody cheered him on and thinking it was great. It was funny. You know, it was just a 9-day talk. Everybody cheered him on. Years later, that same speech led to the death of millions of people. I say that to say this. It only takes one match to burn an entire forest. One match to burn an entire forest. I'd like to address the Minister of Labour, Honourable Pernell Charles, and the Prime Minister, Most Honourable Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness, otherwise called BroGad. There's a situation that's taking place right now with a businessman who's popular, who trends on social media by the name of Ramesh, from Ramesh Entertainment. He's having a job fair. He's having a job fair in the guise of a party. And he's charging an entry fee of $1,000 for persons to come in and to be eligible for an interview. Now, this seems like something okay. This seems like a walkover. This seems like nothing. It's just a job fair. However, should this continue? Should this be green-lighted? Should this work? Should this become successful in Ramesh's favor? It will not be beautiful on the mass of people who are applying for jobs, who are employable, who want a sustainable income for themselves and their family. It will not be a beautiful outcome. Certain things seems like a small match. But like I said, a small match can burn an entire forest. What we are trying to prevent is a big conflagration that will result in the job market. It seems as if people are not supposed to be intelligent. People are not supposed to be smart. People are not supposed to be independent when thinking. People are supposed to go with whatever because they are poor, because they're from poor socioeconomic background, because they're not from a wealthy or well-to-do family. They should be at ease with whatever simply because they are seeking a job. We are in the mind frame of preventing problem. And I speak for a lot of Jamaicans when I say this. And a lot of Jamaicans who are afraid to speak out, afraid to come out, persons who sit down and discuss it in their groups, in their little corner, but will not post it on social media. This is a dangerous move. First and foremost, Ramesh decides to put on a job fair and he guises it as what? a function, you're paying an entry fee. Now, we can't say you have to pay $1,000 for the job because that would be illegal. So what he does was get persons to use their wits to make it seem as if it's a party that he's putting on where drinks and refreshment are also on sale. So it's actually like a party that he's putting on, but it's actually a job fair in reality. And he's charging persons $1,000 to be eligible for an interview. A lot of persons are coming online and they're supporting it and saying that when you go to the embassy and you want visa, you have to pay for this and you have to pay for that. Excuse me. The embassy is not a job. The embassy is not a career path. You are paying for an application form. You are paying for an application form that can either be a yes or a no. It's not a job. Now let's see what will happen if every single place decides to use this statics. What if every single business place and corporation decides to use this static? What's going to happen? Not only will a lot of people not get jobs, but a lot of people will not be able to go on a mere interview. When a person is seeking a job, they have to consider their fare if they don't own a reliable motor vehicle. If they do, they have to consider gas. They have to consider their working clothes. They have to consider their shoe. They have to consider lunch if it's going to be for the entire day. They have to consider working clothes, as I said before. All of these things come into play. Around 5 things known that comes into play when a person is seeking a job. And for you to add to it, to make it 6 or 7, that they have to pay an entry fee, is sending a very dark, unconscientious message to the mass of the people. And I spoke before that a lot of you people have a lot of pride on you. A lot of you black people are filled with pride. You believe greatly that because you got by or because you are doing well, and a lot of you are even not doing so well, it's because a lot of illegal activities that you're involved with on the side of whatever it is that you're doing, and you're getting by with it. You believe that you should support his argument because you have a lot of pride on you. Oh, I get by, so it should be no problem for you to get by. You're the one who wants it. And to add insult to injury, as I said before, Ramesh decides to undervalue the intelligence of Jamaican people. I am giving you a help and I'm helping you, and this is the reason the country can't better, the country can't change, our people can't be better. So they are not supposed to think for themselves or look at this as a scam or look at this as a sham. They're supposed to agree with it and run with it. Ramesh, you can make a cool $1 million in one day. Just from that. You can make a cool $1 million from that. But you're not considering those who might have the $1,000, the last $1,000 to their name, or very well borrowed from someone to be there. And you're looking at it that people should be grateful. So sooner or later, utility companies will tell people that in order for you to get your bill, you have to pay an entry fee, or you have to pay a fee for a visual fee via email, or if they collect it in the mail, they should pay a fee sent to the utility company in order for them to see their bill. And guess what? Their services will be disconnected if it's not paid on time, and if it's not paid, and it will still attract a late fee charge if it is not paid on time. So sooner or later, no one wins. Sooner or later, you won't be able to win. Sooner or later, you won't be able to win. And I have a very serious problem with people talking about Ramesh is intelligent, Ramesh is a smart man, and what he's doing is actually a job fair, and it's actually a party, and he's charging $1,000 for it, and nothing is wrong with that, and it's smart move. You know who was considered smart also? A man by the name of Kanye West. A man by the name of Kanye West was considered smart. Oh, he's a genius. Black men started to run with the rhetoric. Kanye West is a genius. Kanye West is a genius. Is a genius. Even when he berates and he disrespected the ancestors who fought for slavery, who killed themselves basically, so that a lot of people today can be free, can have a say, can have a mouth. He decided to speak from ignorance that slavery was a choice. And everybody looked over it. They looked over it because what? They were benefiting from what he put forward, from whatever it is that he put forward to help their clothing line to sell, until he started targeting them. Until he made that speech about those same group of Jewish people. Then that's where his problem come. Oh, cancel him. Oh, we're going to drop him. We're going to this and that. So when he was berating his own nation of people, his own ethnic group, when he was disrespecting his ancestors, you guys held no morality. You guys saw nothing about it because it was his own people he was coming after. But as soon as he said something that didn't sit well with this majority or this group of people, all of a sudden he's the worst person ever. Let's cancel him. Let's cancel him. According to your logic, Ramesh, law enforcement officers need to start charging for appearing at the scene of a crime, or when a person reports to the station or goes to the police station to report on a crime, they need to start charging. The law enforcement officers need to start charging to write the report. Because what are we doing? We're going capitalism, so let's go all out. It's capitalism, right? So let's go all out. You know, you shot yourself in your leg, Ramesh, when you said one thing. You said something, and you shot yourself in the leg when you said it. That you were the first to do this. That's a straw that's going to break the camel's back. You are the first to do this. In saying that, it is sending a lot of signals that you are basically scamming people. You're putting on a job fair and you're guising it as a party so that people can pay to come in so that you can benefit, and then you put refreshments and drinks on sale. What guarantees that all who comes in, because you have only a vacancy of 10? So all who comes in, what guarantee you have that 500, 1,000 people, 700 people who turn up, 350 persons who turn up are actually going to get a job? Because the vacancy is 10. The position is 10. It's 10 positions. So even if you multiply it by 2, you'll get 20. So 20 persons eligible for a job. If you multiply it by 3, you get what? 60? Something like that. No, 3 2s. Yeah, 3 2 6. 60 persons. Out of 350, out of 700, out of whatever the figure may be, who turn up for your job. Fear. Who turn up for your job? Fear. People are not stupid. And you're saying a lot of things. And people are reading through the line. People are reading through the line, Ramesh. You saying you are the first to do it is sending a signal. And my message to the Minister of Labor and to the Prime Minister, how are you going to regulate this? Because it seems as if the laws are in the country. Okay, the laws are in the country to prevent something like this. The laws are in the country, but are they being enforced? Are they being enforced? We need to have the laws enforced, and it needs to be open to the public so we can have a clear understanding of what is taking place. Because I guarantee that turning up in 2023, a lot of business people are going to capitalize on this. They're going to capitalize on this exploitation of the vulnerable, of the poor, of the destitute, who needs a job, who want to move their life from point A to point B. So, Honorable Prime Minister, I need you to speak out on this. I need you to address this matter. Minister of Labor, Sir Pernell Charles Jr., I need you to speak out on this. I need you to speak. This is not about politics anymore. This is about ethics. This is about code of conduct as a business person. And I ask the question, is this a laissez-faire economy? What type of economy are we looking at in Jamaica? Because we need to know so we can work around it. What kind of economy are we looking at in Jamaica? Because this is very, very dangerous. I think you should speak out on it, because this is a match that's going to lead to a grand conflagration, and we're trying to prevent it. And how we can prevent it, it's by speaking out, using our voices through social media. I'm not concerned about the sycophants out there who are simply in the business of supporting a boss move because he's trending and because he relates to people and because he does this and he does that. He's unconscientious. Ramesh is an unconscientious individual who should be cancelled. Nobody should be working for you. You're talking about when you started out with your t-shirt and this and that and nobody wanted to buy it and nobody was this and nobody was that. At the end of the day, if you are even coming from that, that's even worse because it would have given you the option and the ability to be able to see what others who were born well-to-do were not able to see and understand the struggles. But you see, when you get on, and you can use your skin color, or you can use the hair on your head, or you can use your ethnic background as a leverage because you know you'll get away with a lot of things. That's what you're going to do. That's what you guys always do. Everybody's unified. We all are one. We all are one out of many one people. My ass out of many one people. But as soon as you get on, the first to start subjugating people, the first to start subjugating you melanated people because you're reducing them to what? Hewers of wood and drawers of water. How dare them to know better? I am helping you and you can't, that's why the country can't get better because you people don't like change. Exploitation is not a change. It's not a change. It's not a change. And for those who are supporting this kind of harangue behavior and thinking it is okay, just remember that your day is coming also. Your day is coming. Your day is coming. I need the Minister of Labor to address this matter, and I also need the Prime Minister to address it because this cannot continue. I'm in the business of preventing something. I'm in the business of preventing a problem, not solving a problem. Preventing a problem, not solving a problem. Please do not underestimate the intelligence of the people. There are lots of people out there who are stupid, who like to showcase it on social media, who like to type foolery, who like to post before thinking, who like to speak before thinking. All of us are not the same. There are some who will see the problem ahead and want to nip it in the bud from early. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. We can only hope for the best that something like this discontinue, that Ramesh is stopped in his path with this, and for the foolish who wants to go out there and show up and shout because you want to be a minstrel show, you want to perform on a minstrel show for massa or to look good or to get brownie points from that ethnic gallery. You need to understand something. You will never be seen as such. You will never be seen as what you want to be seen as. You're just mere expenditure. You're just a mere tool, a disposable tool. So, Minister of Labor, Pernell Charles, and Prime Minister, please come and address this matter because persons are going to take it further. Persons out there are going to take it forward and further. And what you don't want is a civil unrest or an anarchy. Or maybe you do. We don't know what the intentions are. Maybe you do. Maybe the powers that be want an anarchy because there's something called organized chaos. Decisions are made through organized chaos. So we're expecting a certain behavior in people. So you provoke it. That's all I have to say about this. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day. May God bless you.